Somebody call for the queen.
I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's the truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat, no pneumonia, the rats keep me up on the volume, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, you got the picture me, Pacific ice, I'm an ocean, ready for war like I'm Russian, ladies should never the luggage, my diamonds they tussling. My neck and my belly on. They calling for me and they. You want me like me and I look. Yeah. Her Rex on her. Yeah. B-Rex better calm down. Yeah. If you go around, come around. Yeah. Whole squad. Yeah. Squad goes on me. Yeah. Make some orange gel on my toes. Yeah. Farrakhan glass for the chosen. Yeah. You can go and get mad. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man. Who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my swag.
Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex so much. Go clean my crown. Can't hear my haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Body goes on these white paint on my toes. Pressing that new Bay alert. Gonna be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose too. Dripping in ice. Looking at you, it's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no?
I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's the truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat, no pneumonia, the rats keep me up on the volume, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too, dripping my swag.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that
he rifles one that's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, who ready? Who ready?
After the interception, here's Watson. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Target. Hey, black 22.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16.
Come back.
Out of the gun, Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
Watson now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Underneath for Miller. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play, because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Detroit!
Play action. It's Jackson. Muscles him off. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. If I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Good. Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Now he's forced out left. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'd be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And that's incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. He'll return it from the 6. And he spins through. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Tiger. Come back.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. To throw is Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be a second down.
Richmond.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him, though. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
Now it's Watson. It's his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here.
Come back, come back.
Again, it's Watson. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They go play action with Jackson. Rolling to his right. And that's incomplete. Offensively, you might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. It's J.J. Watt, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Throw left side complete. That's Griffin. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there, 26 yards. On 1st and 10, Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Zadarius Smith in there to get him for a loss of 5. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Dancing to his left. A heck of an effort there on the scramble. Leaves him with just 3rd and a yard.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up. They still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
But, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front, giving him at least a stalemate in order to find that space?
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't it? Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Down Jackson on 2nd down. He gets this one to Michael Crabtree. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Throwing is Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 32 that time.
That could not have been timed out any better, and that's exactly what receivers want. The ball in their hands as quick as possible allows them to catch it at full speed and take off and go. And how about the end result there? Big-time run after catch yardage. That rack yardage is so valuable for any offense.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Whitney merciless. Coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Jackson from the shotgun. His throw caught right around the 6. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run with Montgomery. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. From the gun, Jackson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver, and now it's 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But to drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. And Tucker, the former Longhorn, puts this one through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And now out comes Houston. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely loved what they were doing, because to be ahead of the defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. Also let you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
On second down, here's Watson. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Come back, come back. Come back, come back.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Collins. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A nice move he had, but can't break away. And he's brought down just inside the 30. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To the air yet again, Watson. Porter brings it in over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. From the red zone now, Watson.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Watson now on second down. Flushed out right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Fairbairn able to put this one through. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to...
There goes Alex Collins. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Houston. Alex Collins, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans will extend their lead. Always was important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Ty Montgomery with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that will get him one closer. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play. A first down carry now for Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. From the 50, it's Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on fourth.
Reset.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's a fourth down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. Now Watson escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So now they'll come up on second and 10, once again from the 28. on 2nd and 10. Watson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is tonight. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, he scored on the ground and through the air. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. He's at the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Chris Moore, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens get a bit closer. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. Wide open receiver complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Watson making up for some lost time here in season number 2. He's got the Texans on the move with a 1st down. On 1st down, Watson. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Back to throw, Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he's got the 1st as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Now it's Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Hey, Blue Lady! Blue Lady! Richmond!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously... To throw on second is Watson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. The Texans on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7.
Richmond.
Out of the gun, Watson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. From the gun, it's Jackson. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurate when he throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
It's complete to Brown, right side. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. From the gun, Jackson. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Now it's Jackson, eluding the pressure right. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be aggressive here.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And this Texans defense stands tall. And here comes the Texans now. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this be who you are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Kenneth Dixon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
They begin with a run by Miller. He finds an opening past the 40 and all the way up to the 46. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now he's going the other way. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Underneath for Miller. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Watson. Buying time to his left. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smiles.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
They go play action with Jackson. Caught left side to Crabtree. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. J.J. Watt in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Whitney Merciless in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Looking left side, and it's complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Miller. Oh, what a juke into space. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it. They keep it with Miller on 1st down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Houston, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they taste defeat for the first time this season as they drop to 5-1. And they'll be at home for one next week against the Oak.
System. Shirts louder than the broccoli, dancing in my chucks, feeling out of